If you missed Tuesday night's Race Chat Live, you missed the RCL crew giving their thoughts and expectations of the Chicago Street Race. Listen in.
Expectations. Seems like this has been nothing but roadblocks from the beginning. I think that we're all just as surprised that this race is actually going to happen. I think that from the moment it was announced, I said this race will never happen. So if I had to pay that back, I guess I'd be paying in full. But it is not like we haven't heard a million things of why it shouldn't happen. What are the expectations rolling into the Chicago Street Race? And we'll start with you, Taz. The table is open as long as it's about Chicago Street Racing.
Well, I've seen NASCAR street races because of the Pinty Series. I'm not sure if anybody else does. I'm sure the Euro and Mexico Series does them, but I've never watched them. But anyway, from what I've gathered, it's going to be a narrow course, but that does not mean you will not see passing. It does not mean you'll see, beat bang. I do think with the layout, there may be a couple spots for passing by the looks of it. And so, street races, we've never seen Cup cars on the streets ever, obviously. And the only reason why I referenced the Pinty Series is, and then this is not the first time I've referenced Pinty's with the Cup Series, because the next gens kind of almost resemble a Pinty Series car in some sort of sense. So I feel like we will see some Pinty Series street racing type of deal. Maybe we won't. I don't know. My mind is open to it. I see it as NASCAR's probably going to give this a one-shot deal. If fans are good with it, we'll keep it for the next year. If not, well,
it's a 3-year deal, Tess. Whether or not we see all 3 years, of course, is the question. But it is a 3-year deal.
I'm kind of hoping we get a good product. If we don't, I kind of hope they take that 3-year deal and rip it out of the put it in the shredder and never look at it again.
So now you're telling the truth. You don't want this race to happen. You don't like the idea of this race. You've already pooped on this race, and it hasn't even happened. But you don't want to say that because you don't want to be biased. You don't want to be against something that you haven't watched yet. And in the end, Taz, we could be surprised. I'm right there with you on everything. But the one thing that I'll keep open to the fact is I've been critical before, and I've ate those words. Are you ready to eat those words? What if this winds up being the coolest race we've ever seen? These are stock cars that are going to be racing through the streets or something. Isn't this more? Tell me how many rednecks wanted to go and race their hillbilly hot rods in the streets of New York City. Come on. It's got to be something cool about this, because I'll be honest, I've heard nothing but negativity from everything and everywhere about this upcoming race.
Like I said, I'm giving it a shot. I'm not putting it in the toilet completely yet, because I've seen Pinty Series races. Some of them are pretty good if you look on like YouTube or Flow. Like I said, it's going to be a narrow course. Like, obviously we've seen road course races. Like, the track is, you could go to maybe 3 wide in certain instances. And I'm not referencing Dakota either. Dakota's just a madhouse in its own right. But the street course is pretty narrow. You're going to have 2 wide racing from time to time, but you're you're not going to see crazy 3-wide nonsense. You're going to see beat and bang in some of these corners. Drivers are going to have to really going to have their awareness abilities be really tested, because I mean, some of these 90-degree turns, they can be blinding corners.
Right.
They're going to play as blinding corners. So if a car goes around about 50 feet after a 90-degree turn, you either better react quick like hell or hold on to your steering wheel.
I have heard some of this about how sharp some of these corners are, and how it could be leading up to a pretty bad accident. I mean, you know, I'm excited there. Go ahead, Taz, finish it up.
All I'm saying is, my mind is open. I'll give it a whirl. I've obviously told you what I have seen, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not putting this on the golden shelf, but I'm not burying it in the ground yet.
All right, Miss Lee, what's your thoughts on the upcoming Chicago?
All right.
race?
I got some big opinions, guys.
All right.
I am not
That's what I like.
opposed. I am not opposed to street racing. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good new thing to bring into NASCAR. I don't think Chicago was the
Bingo.
right place to do it.
Bingo.
Safety of the drivers, crews, and fans is my big thing. You know, Chicago is and I'll put a quarter in the swear jar, Chicago's a shit show.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
that
the politics,
it was
the danger
the
zone.
right place to necessarily do this for the first time. That said, I got a lot of questions. You know, you're talking about a course that has multiple surfaces, asphalt, concrete. It has
a little gravel.
potential hazards, manholes.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Manholes.
And these are a lot.
Yeah.
These cars
Not
are a lot
only
heavier
manholes,
than
but-
an Indy car or a Formula One car. What if these manholes come up? Holy crap, Miss
Right.
Lee! What if simulation hasn't picked up on that?
And one of my big concerns is with this new car, you've got those solid bottoms.
Right.
How are they going to handle the differences not only between the road surfaces, but such things as manholes and pits and whatnot in the road surface? Something that Drew Blickensdorfer mentioned today was, you know, you've got garbage trucks and whatnot that have left oil slicks all over the road. And,
Right.
you know, I mean, yeah, they're going to clean it up, but some of that stuff is really soaked into the surface.
Yeah.
So
Good point.
something that Drew mentioned is how important the track walk prior to the race is going to be to address all of those issues.